Hey everybody, Saturday night hockey talk post-game live stream coming to you despite technical difficulties. Yeah, I'm a half an hour late, so we got to wait for people to come in. Sorry about that. Let me just get situated here while I wait for people to show up. Not very entertaining for you guys. Anyway, the Canadians just beat the Ottawa Senators in the final preseason game. Hey, Yukon Mapper, thanks for coming in, buddy. You're the first one in. So I was saying the Habs just beat the Senators in an exciting finish to a boring game. That's for sure. Hang on, I just want to get my... hey, Nolan, you're up late tonight? Thanks for coming in. Sorry, I had technical difficulty, guys. Google wouldn't let me log in. It was just a big pain in the butt. Okay, I just want to get my computer set up so I can see the I'll be able to see the questions or the chat better. And it's just coming in. There we go. Cool. I can't see it very well on this screen here. Let's see now. Yeah, not much up, guys. Just wanted to watch the game first, and of course it went into overtime, and then my app wouldn't let me sign in. Google keeps telling me my password is wrong. I know it's right, so I had to go through a bunch of steps to figure it all out. And hey, Alexander, cheers, buddy. You're up late. Don't forget we have the hockey pool tomorrow. So hockey pool draft is tomorrow. I'm gonna live stream it. I'll be getting on air probably 11:45. It starts at 12, the draft. So I'll live stream the draft so everybody can see it, and it should be a lot of fun. Should be who's here now? So Yukon Mapper, Nolan, Habs fan for life, Paul Guy, Ghislain, and Alexander. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Such a screwy night. It was a boring game. I don't know what you guys thought of this game, but it was boring right up until, well, the second period had a little bit happening. Even though the Habs got 2 goals, well, it was first period and beginning of the second period. I just found it boring. Not much happened, and boy, that overtime was good, though. Overtime was amazing compared to the game itself. Yeah, the overtime was just awesome. I had a question I wanted to ask you guys. Suzuki, of course. I'm so glad he got the winner in overtime. I was waiting for him to do something like that. I mean, he played a good game. The guy's good. He's got an all-around good game. But I wanted him to get a goal, so I was happy to see that. Weber seems slow. You think so? I didn't really notice that. I wasn't really watching for Weber. I was trying to pay attention to the 3 guys that might make the team. So Paling, Suzuki, and Fleury. Fleury had a good game, I found. Do I think Mete will finally score? I bloody well hope so. I would have liked to see him score in the preseason, though. Would have been nice. But hey, maybe he's just waiting for the regular season. KK's disappointing. I don't know that he's disappointing. He's doing everything else. He's not having an offensive preseason, no, but he's doing everything else behind the scenes. Did Drouin play tonight? Seems invisible. That's because he did not play tonight. He was invisible. He wasn't on the ice. Yeah, he was a last-minute scratcher. They scratched him today and put Byron in. I think it was Byron. Yeah, put Byron in instead of Drouin. So, yeah. Which was, I don't know if I'm disappointed. Maybe we wouldn't have won. I don't know. But I'm sure he'll be in the lineup on Thursday. I didn't hear that it was an injury or anything. By the way, guys, just to let you know, I'm a little tired tonight. So we probably only go about an hour. So go till about 11:30 because I'm tired. And we got that draft tomorrow. Plus I have a draft at 8 o'clock. I have a dinner party at 7:30. I've got a big day tomorrow. Don't know how I'm doing the nighttime draft. It's from the guys at Habilis. And oh, by the way, I should be on the Habilis in this week. So I imagine it'll come out Thursday. We usually do it on Wednesdays, so look for Habilissin. The link's going to be in the description. And yeah, I should be on there this week. Haven't heard official, but I think I'm going to be. Suzuki looked amazing. Suzuki's going to be a good player. I don't even know why any of us had doubts that he might not make it. He'd start in Laval. I mean, he's no doubt about it. This guy's ready for the NHL. Oh yeah, we could talk about that. Thanks for bringing that up, Nolan. Yeah, the if anyone hadn't heard, I guess if you watched the game, you heard Kyle Connor got signed today. $7.1 million, 7-year contract. So 7 years, $50 million, I think it was. I'm surprised. Well, I say that I'm surprised he got more than Laine, but Laine signed a bridge contract for 2 years. So Laine's second season of that contract, by the way, is $7.5 million, which means in 2 years they have to qualify him at $7.5 million because he'll be still an RFA. So he's getting at least that. So Laine Rantanen signed for 6 years, 9.25 per. Better off reading them down here. How many points do I think Suzuki will get if he plays second line? Actually, he's not second line. From what I heard on the broadcast, that line is the first line. He's playing first line minutes. Tatar Dino Galley is the official second line, and I got that from the broadcasters. So he's jumped from junior to first line. How many points? It's a good question. I'm gonna say on the low side 50, and I think he can go as high as 60, 65, possibly playing first line. If he plays first line all year, looking the way he's been looking, I think so. Yeah. He's going to have a good season, I think. KK, how many points will KK get? Depends on who his line mates are. I have a feeling what you saw today, he played with, I'm trying to think now, he played with Wheel, and Drewer wasn't in, so I don't remember. Who did he play with on the other side? You know what, I don't even remember, but he's going to have probably Wheel. I imagine he's going to start the season with Wheel. He'll have more offensive wingers than he had last year in Lehkonen and Armia, I think. And 50. I'm going to stay with my original prediction, 50 to 55. KK played for $853 only. Second least used player after Cousins. Not fair and not good for his confidence. It's preseason. I wouldn't really put too much into that. It's preseason. Maybe something happened. Maybe, I don't know. I will have to wait and see from the post-game press conference or whatever we hear. I wouldn't worry too much. Hey, I picked him in my last draft. I've got KK, so I hope he has a good year. Habs first line looks like second line. They're saying that the no line is the second line, and it's the Domi line that's the first line. So Suzuki will be on the first line. That's what they said going into the game. I thought it was the other way around, but apparently it's not. Hey, Hockey Crabs, thanks for coming in, buddy. I'm a little tired if I seem a little quiet. I'm a little tired today. I think I'm coming down with a cold. My roommate's just getting over something she got at work. I don't know, so maybe I'm getting that. Let me see, what else could we talk about? So, yeah, see, I'm tired. What came out of the game? Hey, MJ, yeah, looking forward. It's at noon, eh? Everybody remember, everybody who's here that's in the draft, it's at noon tomorrow. At noon, not 8 o'clock, because it was originally at 8 o'clock. It's at noon, and I'm going to live stream. So I'll be on at 11:45. This year, again, the offense will come from everybody and nobody in particular. Well, I don't know if that's a bad thing in particular either, that the offense is spread out. Sorry, my nose. I don't know if it's a good thing, because if one line is not having a good game, the other lines pick it up. So there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't know. I have a feeling we'll see what Suzuki can bring us, because Suzuki might. Guess who just showed up? Do I have any moderator? No, I'll do it. I'm not giving them even a chance. Hey, Advin. Drew wasn't there. Nope. What does this mean? I don't know. I wonder, too. I don't know if it means a trade, if that's what you're thinking. I don't know if that means a trade. KK played 5 minutes and 40. KK, that would be really good for his confidence. Besides, entries, so into the offensive zone and exits from the defensive zone. He's been pulling his weight on the defensive side, so, everything around the puck. Hey, am I missing I saw... Oh, I'm thinking I'm missing questions. It's like 30 seconds behind over. It's easier for me to read off my computer screen than up here. Let's see now. I'm not missing good questions. Sang Sung, hey buddy, thanks for coming in. Was hoping to see more Paling tonight. Hope he gets more time moving forward. Well, someone made a good point on... I don't know if it was on the broadcast, but because of contract problems or contract issues, which means this, some of the guys that are up here that you might think that would not make the team or shouldn't be in place of Fleury and Paling will probably start the season here, and Paling and Fleury will get sent down because they don't require waivers. So they don't want to lose a guy like Hudon, whatever, anybody they'd have to waive. So you might be surprised that only Suzuki's made it. I don't see, especially with that overtime goal, that's like, he sealed the deal with that, I think. So Suzuki, I think we can, it's not an official word yet, but I think we can say Suzuki made it. If Fleury and Paling go down, it won't be for long, I don't think. They'd be call-ups pretty quickly. The Habs will, like every other team at the beginning of the season, the first few weeks, you evaluate your team. See how the guys that you started with are doing, and see if you need to make any moves, any kind of promotions, demotions, whatever. So I think that's when, stuff will happen. I think there's some trades coming. There's got to be. We have too many bodies here. I think there's some trades coming. Since you can't waive guys to go down, and if you do want them to go down, you got to move them so you can bring the other guys up. They give Suzuki every chance to prove himself. This is from Michelle. Hey, Michelle, by the way, if I didn't say hi. Lots of time on the ice, power play, good line mates. They should do the same with KK and Paling. Well, I think KK will get better line mates once the season starts, and I don't think he's going down. Paling may very well start in Laval. He may very well. So, don't be surprised by it, and don't be put off by it, because I don't think it means anything. Besides, look, a guy like Paling, he's going to hit the same wall KK did last season eventually, right? So, he's only used to playing 38 games a year. So, I don't know. I think he's going to start in Laval. I just have this feeling. And the point of the contracts makes a lot of sense. Hey, Massimo. Thanks for coming in, bud. Paul, if I was a moderator, I would have taken care of Alexis DeBook. Guess what, Paul? You're a moderator now. Besides, hey guys, don't argue with me. Paul gave me a big thumbs up when we did the last live stream with the other two guys. So, Paul's a good guy. Nolan, did you hear about the rumor where KK might get sent to Laval? It's a rumor. I don't see it. I don't see it. Not without, you could say 3 weeks in, a month into the season, he's playing really bad. I could see maybe, but not to start the season. I'm not after a preseason. Same thing with Drouin. Drouin had a garbage preseason. He's going to start. I heard someone say on Twitter, I saw a couple people say maybe Drouin should go down for a little time with Joel Bouchard. And you know what? It might not be a bad idea, but you're not going to do it. Not at $5.5 million. Besides, he can get 50, 55 points here, even in a lousy season. So, yeah. It's okay, Advin. He shows up again, let him block him again. Some say that Hudon won't even be picked up if he goes to Laval. Every team has a Hudon in their farm system. Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. I have a feeling, though, Hudon's a guy that they can move. I think there's got to be a team out there that would see the... Guy gets a lot of chances and everything, and maybe a change of scenery for him might be good. Less pressure. I mean, I don't know. Johnny, I thought I had seen your name up there. It's faster on my... between the two, sorry. I read tonight that Colorado Habs are looking for goalie depth. Lindgren's going to be gone. Think about it. If they waive him to put him down on the farm, someone's going to pick him up on waivers. He's making $700,000, the league minimum. He's a decent goalie. For that kind of money, someone's going to pick him up on waivers. So they can't hold on to him. They got to trade him. I think that's why I'm positive there's a trade coming. I just don't know who's going to be involved. Obviously, I wish I knew those things in advance. But you got to figure Lindgren's got to go. If he didn't make the team, I mean, what are they going to do with him otherwise? Yeah, Paul, I think he will. I think he will. Don't give up on a guy so early. Drouin's had his whole career of being this frustrating guy. KK, not yet. Do I think Drouin should get traded? Because I really haven't liked his performance. Whoa. And we should try and get someone like Gallagher, hard worker with skill. Do you agree? Okay, but, I mean, okay. Problem with trading Drouin could be this, I think. First of all, what are you going to get back for him at this point? So if you're trading him out of frustration, what are you going to get back from him? Granted, Bergevin traded Galchenyuk and we got Domi. So if anybody can do it, it would be Bergevin. So, I mean, if the right deal comes along, I think he would do it. And, I mean, there's been enough rumor going around that he's on the block. They pulled him from the game today. Don't know what to read into that. We could read a lot into it, and we'd be wrong, probably. So we'll have to see how it goes with Drouin. We really will. But you know, I could see him getting moved in the first month of the season if nothing happens, or by the trading deadline if he hasn't picked up his game. If it's still the same thing, yeah. Let's see. Hey Nolan, have a great night. If you don't come back, have a great night. Don't worry about it. Advin, Caden Primo, first game. Yeah, Caden Primo got rocked tonight. He got rocked. At one point, I think he had 3 goals on 5 shots. 5 goals, 17 shots, yeah. But listen, he's a young guy. His first professional... Well, it's still preseason over there. He had a bad game. I mean, what's going to happen, right? Can't read that. You can't, especially for a goalie, you can't read anything much into one bad game. It's going to happen to them all. Defensemen were taking a lot of risks by going up and causing breakaways too often. There were a lot of breakaways and stuff at overtime, man. It was like one, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I wasn't watching close enough for that. I was trying to pay attention to a few guys, and I didn't watch that. Although I was watching Fleury, I thought Fleury had a pretty good game. I liked his game. I was considering him as a star when it was boring. Then it got exciting, and then the stars kind of just called themselves out. Hang on, let me scroll down. Did I see the interview with Drouin about Pressure Montreal? No, Gislain. Excuse me. I did not. The only thing I heard someone say about him is was a reporter asked him if he thought, like, how his camp was going, and he said, oh, I'm having a great camp. So I don't know if he's a little delusional on that, or what he's specifically working on in camp that we don't know, that, you know, maybe he's working on only certain things. I mean, that is what preseason is for especially for veterans. You're welcome, Paul. Like I said, tell all my mods, don't abuse it. Massimo, I got a bunch of them, so right now, sorry, it was a special thing. Sorry, I know everybody wants to be a mod. If you're all mods, I can't have too many like that. But I'll give you for the next time I change or add one. Don't. Drouin would need waivers anyway to go to Lau. He'd need waivers to go. He's going to get taken. You don't want to lose him that way. Don't trade Drouin. This is from Paul. He will play with Domi and Suzuki even if he doesn't become elite. He's to be a 50-point guy. Yeah, and but also don't be surprised if he doesn't. I think he'll start. I won't be surprised if he starts on third line, and he has to earn his way up to that second line. And besides, Domi and Suzuki, we're finding out that's first line. I don't know if I want Drouin as a first line winger right now. Drouin for Puljujarvi and Hopkins, and possibly a pick from the Oilers. I really highly doubt, Joe. Honestly, you better be adding more from Montreal for that. I don't think they're gonna give you Puljujarvi, Hopkins, and a pick. Are you kidding for Drouin? I don't know what the motivation would be for that. Besides, Ken Holland should be a decent general manager. I don't think you can fleece him like that. So let me know. Are you thinking of adding anybody else to that? Because you'll have to up that, I think. Massimo Drouin is very inconsistent. That is one way to put it. Drouin for Aho. Yeah. Love that one. Take that in a second. Drouin alone isn't enough for Hopkins, that's for sure. Just for Nugent Hopkins himself, no. I don't think Drouin's enough for him alone. I think Drouin would be enough for Nuge. I wouldn't do it, but I think it's enough. Drouin would be a good left wing for McDavid. Yeah, I still, I still don't think so. What did Nugent Hopkins get? 69 points or something like that last season? Something like that? No, or am I wrong? So Avs are looking for goalie depth. What about Drouin too? Him and McKinnon together again. You mean package off Lindgren and Drouin for who though? Who do you think they're going to send us back? Who on the Avs are you looking to get? Some yeah, I can't think of anybody they'd want to trade to us or that would be available anyway. Massimo saying Hudon Lindgren for a third. Well, or a third and a fourth. But yeah, I mean, what are you going to get for Hudon Lindgren? Honestly, Lindgren also, you're not going to get a big return, but you get a return. Better than losing him on waivers. Hudon, a fourth liner, a third liner maybe? I don't know. I would think you get at least a fourth liner. They got a fourth liner for Delorier, so imagine Hudon would fetch at least that. Gone. Drouin did not play since he played a maximum amount of games for a veteran in the preseason. Oh, is that the reason why? Okay, well, that makes sense then. So, like I said, we could read something into it, and it's probably nothing, and probably we're right. It's nothing. Michelle asks, sorry I'm a little low-key tonight. I'm really tired tonight. What's wrong with KK on left wing to start the season? This way you can have Paling in center and a guy like Wheel on the right. This would make it possible to have Thompson in uniform for most games. Yeah, the thing is, KK's not a winger. I could almost say that he'd be better off sent down than be at wing, maybe. And he's not going to get sent down. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Thompson. That's interesting. I was just saying now, Paling has not played more than 38 games in the last 3 seasons, I guess, since he's in college. I hope my signal's okay. It just said my signal is unstable. I'm unstable, not my signal. No, just joking. So Paling is playing basically 38 games a season. So you could possibly see if he makes the team that, Thompson will play a few games here and there. They'll split the time. That's kind of what I would think. Okay, wait a second now. Bunch of questions just came in. Okay, she's then saying they asked Drouin if the coach and GM put too much pressure on him. He said that he is the one who put pressure on himself for the last 3 years, so he doesn't need pressure from anybody else. Yeah, I'm not impressed by that response. Does he put pressure on himself? Has he up till now? I don't know. I don't want to chase the guy out of town, but I mean, he doesn't have to get even. I said it in a video the other day that if he would try, if we get a second effort, God, words aren't coming to me. Words, if we would try behind the puck, away from the puck, if we would see that effort in him, then we wouldn't care that he's getting 55 points because he's giving it his best. When you see a guy who looks lazy, who isn't giving second effort, not back checking it up, stuff like that, you're gonna get, when he has all the talent in the world, you're gonna get down on him. It's just natural, I think. So I don't know. For him saying he puts the pressure on himself, I don't know. That's a cop out, I think. I said the same thing twice at Joe. Okay, good. Okay, wait a second. You were trying to tell it wasn't just for. Okay, I'm lost here. Sorry, Joe. I'm a little tired. I'm having trouble with that one. Domi has great tenacity. What do you think of his fighting? Yeah, he's got to stay. Look, he's got to stay away from that. He's got to get his head more into the game. This is my problem with Domi's fighting. I like the fact that he's an emotional guy and all that, but he's got to stay away from the fighting because he's got enough trouble with his defense. He needs to work on that defense, and someone pointed out today how Nick Suzuki. Draft Dynasty. He broke down Suzuki. Not broke down his game, but he predicted whether Suzuki will make the team or not. So he scouted him, and one of the points on Suzuki that I love and that a lot of people don't see in his game is that he's very responsible defensively. He's always making sure the back end is covered. Where was I going? Now where am I going? Oh, so Domi, this is a problem for Domi. As many points as Domi will put up, he can cost the team a lot of those points back, right? Because he's not as responsible defensively. He needs to work on that part of his game. Stay away from the hothead stuff. Work on your defense. Keep up that offense. And I think he'd be much better served. So I wish he would not go to fisticuffs. He's still a small guy. Yes, he can handle himself. I'm not worried about him. But still, he doesn't need to get hurt doing that kind of stuff. That's my opinion. Who do I think? What do I think about Laval as a contender for Calder this year? The Calder Cup, I think they play for, right? Weiss and Pekka added along with Barber and Veroni. Very good. Yeah, but you know what? It seems like they don't have much defense down there. I don't know what's up with that. I thought they'd have a better defense down there. So I guess Cale Fleury will go back for a while, and probably. I'm not saying he will for sure. But yeah, from what it looked like today, the big problem was the defense in front of Caden Primo. Plus, Primo didn't have a great day. But apparently the defense sucked also, so it wasn't just Primo. And if you look at their defense, I saw their roster, the lineup for today, it's a preseason game they played. Not a great defense down there. Not yet. I imagine that's coming as the prospects develop up from the juniors. So I think the Rocket will be improved from last year, but not going to be as great as people were thinking. I think the defense needs a little work. Okay, wait now. Domi has great tenacity. I didn't finish that one. What do you think of his fighting? Gallagher gets targeted a lot and has more discipline. Should we get someone to protect our talented smaller guys? I saw a rumor today for somebody. Can't remember the player's name, and that was one of the things. It was a tough guy that could help that. I don't know. I don't know if the game. I don't know if you require that anymore. I think the game's going away from that anyway, and yeah, I mean that's a good question. Domi needs to stay away from fighting. That's all I could say. He needs to cut down on his penalties and stay away from fighting. That's my that's one part of his game I think he needs to work on. Okay, wait, we got Joe Gatto, Joe, and Joe Big Shot. Hey, Joe Big Shot, thanks for coming in, buddy. 3 Joes. Whoops, went the wrong way on that. Instead of trading Drouin to the Habs, we should trade for McKinnon as number 1. Yeah. Okay, you dream on there, Paul. And not happening. Advin, you may be the only one lagging. No one else is complaining about lagging, and I don't see any lagging here or on my computer right now, but I was having some signal problems. It told me my signal was unstable. At first I thought they were talking about me, but now I realize my signal. So maybe that's what it was or is. Personally, I would trade Drouin. I still think he's great. 50, 60-point guy. Not somebody I want to let go of. You wouldn't trade. Oh, I was wondering. Yeah, I know. That's why your name is Joe. Your YouTube name is after him, isn't it? I think he needs a little bit more time. But like, if by trading deadline, if he's still doing what he's doing now or what he did last year, you got to consider it. But I mean, what's his value going to be? Maybe just based on that, considering you might get nothing much back for him, then you can't really trade him then either. And yes, he can still get you 50, 55 points or maybe a little more. It's not the end of the world. I get it, but still, he's just frustrating. You expect more, you expect more, you expect more. Every game you wait for it, it just never shows up. Here and there, you get 5 games, 6 games a year where you're, wow, he's amazing. And the rest of, you're waiting for it. Can we somehow get Sergachev back from Tampa for drawing? Yeah, I don't think that's happening. I don't think Tampa's taking him back. Oh, excuse me. Drouin and a first. Okay, Massimo, wait. It's coming in too choppy, Massimo. Drouin and a first for who? Would I do Drouin from Mantha? Anthony Mantha from Detroit? Yeah, but you got to wonder then why would Detroit? And think about who's the GM in Detroit. Steve Yzerman? I don't think that's happening. Drouin's not going to Detroit. I don't think so. With the cap Mantha just had, I don't think Drouin is enough for Mantha. Besides, like I just said, don't look at Detroit for Drouin. I think Yzerman was very happy to get rid of him out of Tampa, and I don't think he wants to take him back in Detroit. Michael Johnson, welcome in, buddy. I don't know, I haven't seen you out there up to now, so thanks for coming in. Who do I think will have the most points this season? Montreal? Montreal or the NHL? Montreal, I'm going to have to say Domi, but I kind of hoping that Suzuki gives him a run for his money. So I'd like to see it be Suzuki, really would. That one day it will be, obviously, I believe that. And I still think it'll be Domi, though. Good question. I'm going to have to say Kucherov. Ghislain Framboise. I'm not happy that Suzuki and Paling made the team. But the problem is that a lot of veterans had a bad camp. You're not happy that Suzuki and Paling made the team, really? I'm surprised at that. Okay. I'd like to know why you wouldn't be happy. Yeah, there are a few players had, so-so camps. I don't think that's why. I think Suzuki made the team because you couldn't keep him down. He had too good a camp to keep him back. The promise of this kid is too much. Paling, I also had a good camp. It's a couple of games he played really well. First one especially. And I still think Paling might start in Laval, though, because of contracts, yeah. Glenn S. Glenn. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Yeah, man, probably another half hour. I'm tired. I'm gonna struggle to do an hour, but I'm gonna do at least an hour. Also, do I think losing Shaw will hurt the Habs? It depends. It depends. I wanted to see more like toughness from Cousins. I haven't seen that yet. Obviously, the season hasn't started, so it might come. It might. It might. It might not. I don't know. I think Suzuki can handle himself okay. He also put on weight over the off season, so he's listed I think at 201 pounds or something like that. So I think he'll be fine. I think in the playoffs, come playoff time, you could say, yeah, we might miss Shaw's toughness if we haven't replaced it fully. Yeah. If Drouin was in Nick's skates on that last play, what would have happened? Meaning the overtime, the last overtime play, wasn't exactly wraparound. What would have happened? Good question. No goal. I would think he would have passed it to somebody or would have tried to dangle and listen, he's got the talent. He could have likely scored just as nice a goal as Suzuki did too. So I don't think it's fair to bash on a guy for like that. I think Drouin is definitely capable to make that goal. So yeah, I think he could have done just the same. Would he have? I mean, they're different guys. Maybe not, but you know, I don't think it. Yeah, I don't think it's fair to imply that Drouin is not good enough to make that goal. He was. He is. It would be a good line if they did Lecky, KK, Suzuki. It might end up. I didn't notice Lecky tonight. I gotta say, I was he's supposed to have been playing with. Where's my lines? I don't have it here. Lehkonen was supposed to play with Domi and Suzuki, and I didn't notice him hardly at all. If at all, I didn't hear Lehkonen's name hardly at all. So I don't know what happened there. If anybody knows if anything happened to Lehkonen, let me know. I didn't see anything. I like Domi and Suzuki a possibility. Especially if we want Domi to. If anyone was thinking Domi's going to get more than the 72 he got last year, a guy like Suzuki on his wing can only help that, you know. It can keep Domi from having even a little bit of a drop-off, a guy like Suzuki. So I like Domi and Suzuki as a unit. It's a matter of finding the right guy on the other side. And listen, a lot of lines, you can get a guy, and that's why I thought Lehkonen would be good on that line, was... Lehkonen is good defensively. Suzuki is good defensively. Domi, not yet. Those two guys cover up for any mistakes that Domi might make. I like that aspect, and I like the fact that Lehkonen also has the potential to be a lot more offensive than he is. So, and we know Suzuki, obviously. I think that could be a lethal line. I think that's why they wanted to try it tonight, but I didn't notice Lehkonen tonight. Oh, I better scroll down. I keep reading the same. If I'm looking confused, I think I keep reading the same comment and wondering why I'm not seeing different comments. You miss Shaw and De La Rose. I don't know if we're gonna miss Shaw. I mean, I liked the player. I liked his attitude. I liked I liked a lot about Andrew Shaw. De La Rose. I don't see how we're gonna miss De La Rose. Deslauriers, that makes more sense. Yeah, again, listen, he's a fourth liner. He was, no, we're not going to miss Deslauriers. Nice guy, all that, I'm not putting him down. But as far as, no, we're not going to miss his talents here. What do I think of Mete? Will he finally score? Zach Oakham, I haven't seen you here. Thanks, Zach, for coming in. Yeah, I mean, I think he's got to score eventually. I don't think he's going to go through his career without scoring. I hope he puts a few in this year, yeah. Kotka looks, not a fan this season. Well, listen, it's preseason, so let's not judge that yet. Season's about to start. We're going to see what we got in the next few weeks. That's what the first month of the season is usually about. They evaluate their players, see who they need to move, see what adjustments they need to make with lines, and see demotions and promotions. Shaw's on the Blackhawks now. Yes, he is. That's where we traded him to. Sid Vicious. Hey, Sid. How's it going? Thanks for coming in. If I absolutely had to trade Drouin, then I think I would maybe trade him along with Mete to Edmonton in exchange for Nuge and Clefbaum or Nurse. I think that would be a good move for both teams. Listen, the thing is Edmonton going to want to do that? I don't know. I don't think Drouin's on the move just yet. I don't think so. You got to wait till the season starts. I don't think they're going to give up on him just yet. If they were going to move Drouin, I would think they would have tried in the off season. You would have heard more about it. There would have been something. If they hadn't, they're gonna start the season with him and give him a shot. I mean, he's gonna get a shot. That's why I say, and I said it a while back, that trading deadline. If he's still underperforming, I could see a move at the trading deadline. Yeah, again, I need to scroll. Do I like the lineup how it is, or should Drouin be given another chance? So you mean the lineup without Drouin in the lineup? I think you can do fine either way. Listen, a Drouin that is in the game is he's in the mix. He's giving a solid effort every night. A guy like that, no, I'd want him in the lineup, without a doubt. Guy's got a ton of talent. It's the effort that's the problem. So, if Drouin's giving his effort, if his effort level would be 50% better than it is, you know what I mean? I want him in the lineup. Guy's got a lot of talent, and this team, we need some scoring. We need the power play to work. Drouin can make that happen a lot better. That's why it's so frustrating that that he's performing the way he is. I feel like the Habs are still missing someone up front, a center, a right winger. Sucks Shaw's not there. Well, they're still missing up front on the back end too. I would like to have a little bit stronger guy playing with Weber. But Romanov's coming next year, and I think Romanov's going to slot beautifully in there. So do you want to commit to somebody and then screw that up? No. So I'm okay. Up front, we might see a move happen. But like I said, let's get into the first few games. Let's see what's happening in real games, and make some evaluations then. As far as starting the season, though, I'm pretty happy with what we've got going right now. Let's see. I feel like the Habs are still... No. Who's not happy? Suzuki and Poehling made the team. I wouldn't rush Poehling's name into that yet, though, because of the contract situations. Poehling doesn't have to be waived, so you might see him go to Laval. I don't know who wouldn't be happy Suzuki's making the team, and that Poehling will shortly be on the team. Crick. Oh, that's my other brother. Crick. It's Rick, Frick, and Crick. Hey, Rick. Oh, I'm not saying hey, Rick. Hey, Crick. See, hope you're doing great, brother. Which Habs D-man will cause the biggest surprise, in your opinion? I don't know that there's any surprises there. Maybe Kulak, actually. I'm expecting some really good things from Kulak. The others, I don't expect. I don't see any surprises happening from them. The surprise would be that they have a big fall off, or Sherratt doesn't really work out. I mean, that would be a surprise. But I think Kulak might surprise us this year with how good he is. Let me see. Auto Cost GT. I haven't noticed you out there. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Weird question, but am I a dad? Yes, I'm a dad. 3 strapping boys. 17 is my youngest. 23 is my middle guy, and I have a 28-year-old. Who will win tomorrow, Dallas or New Orleans? Well, now we're talking football, and I'm not really currently following a lot of football for me to say. I don't know who's doing well this year, so I haven't really, I used to play some pools and spread pools and stuff like that, football, so, but it's been a good 5-6 years since I've done that, so. Although, when I get a little bit more of an expanded role on the podcast, they talk a little bit about football. I'll have to get my football going, but I don't think it'll have to be this year. Newfie Guy 38. Scott would love your name. Drew a troublemaker in the locker room. He won't be here much longer. I haven't heard that. But you know what? It's funny. I saw something about Subban. And I know it was somebody, a solid, trustworthy reporter was reporting that Subban was a cancer. That's what they call it, a cancer in the Nashville dressing room. So, I haven't heard that about Drouin though. So it would be news to me. And you don't get the hint. I haven't seen anything that would make me think that would be the case. Yeah, Sid Vicious is asking. I'd like to know what your source is on that, because I haven't heard nothing about that. Let's see. He's not smearing. He's a Habs fan. Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're smearing, but I don't know where you get that from, because that's the first we're hearing about Drouin being either disliked or a cancer in the dressing room. Yeah, that's true, but it's okay. We'll let him get away with it this time. I don't see the basis on it anyway, Sid. Will I be live next Saturday? I sure will. Hopefully without having any... I had technical difficulties today. Plus, the game was on. I didn't want to live stream the third period. I didn't really enjoy it last week, only because I have to do a review, and I can't concentrate enough or make notes, so I don't tend to do that. So I wanted to come on after the game. Game went into overtime, and then I had technical difficulties for literally a half hour. I couldn't log in, and I finally got it to log in. Trading Mete is an awful idea. Him and Kaka need each other for growth. Okay. I don't... Because they're young? I don't know why... I don't know how Mete and Kotka... Are they roommates? They might be roommates. I'm not sure, actually. I think they are. Yeah, I don't really want to trade Mete. It depends. Listen, if you're bringing in somebody... Like, I think I spoke about it in my video today for the preview. There's the Nick Leddy rumor still out there. So you bring in Nick Leddy, he's going to play first pairing with Weber. So what do you do with Mete? So I said, well, Mete may be involved in that deal. So I think it's a possibility that Mete could get moved if you're bringing in that left side defenseman that they're kind of... I mean, Leddy covers that. He's that guy that pretty much you want. He's good on the power play. His point production was down last year a little bit, but I mean, I think he'd be a good guy to have in here. Do I want to have to give up Mete to get him? I don't know. But it's a possibility they would do it, especially if you go a month or two in the season and Mete still hasn't scored a goal. It might happen. Joe says he's heard negative things about Drouin in the locker room, not so much here in Montreal, but in Tampa. Well, okay, but, Tampa's one thing because, there's different people there and there's different personalities. As far as in Montreal, I've never heard anything like that about Drouin in the locker room. And, yeah, because I've never heard anything about it, I don't want to be smearing somebody with unfounded reports, I guess. Okay, wait. My computer is stuck. Yeah, I have such a good Wi-Fi card on my laptop. It keeps logging me out. Hang on, I want to see the chat. I read the chat a lot easier on the computer. Okay, wait. I don't want now. If I go here, I'll be too far ahead. Whoop. Oh my God, there were a lot of. Wow. Sorry, I'm scrolling and I can't believe how many questions there are down on the bottom. Whew, okay. Trying to move ahead here. Bergevin said he would trade Primo only for a first-line center. What do you think about this one? Yeah, that's what he meant by that was to illustrate that it would have to be a ridiculous offer, otherwise he wouldn't even consider it. That's what I mean. Who's going to trade a first-line center for for Primo? As much promise as he might have, who's going to trade their first-line center? I don't think so. That's what he meant. Unless it's a ridiculous offer that you gotta take, he's not trading Primo. Where was I there? Am I sad McCarron got injured and doesn't have a shot to make the team? No, I'm not sad about that, no. It's just too bad for him that, it looked like he had a shot actually this year and then he gets injured and it's blown. Not meant to be, one of those things. Still faith in Johnny D. He's got so much talent. Yeah, I don't have faith, but he's got so much talent. I'm losing faith real fast with him, though. But you got to have a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. I might bypass a couple of things here, but I'm so far behind. Dano was meant to be a replacement to hopefully match Plecky, but he's eclipsing him, proving size is not important if you play smart, quick, and he's solid on his skates. Yeah, listen, Dano's a great. What a trade that was, and he's really a solid center. Yeah, he's not a number one, but he's legitimately. You could make an argument for him being a second, definitely a third line, definitely. Come on, but I think he's a second line center. Austin Nitsua, yeah, that Suzuki goal. It was nice. He's got nice hands. He's got good hands, the kid, and good hockey IQ. He thinks the game so fast. He's so smart, that kid. The sky's the limit for that guy. Kulak is pretty solid. Okay, Anthony Manzano. Hey, Anthony. Do I think it's worth your partners to trade a first-round pick for Patrick Laine? Laine just got signed. He's going. Oh, I thought you said partners. It's Panthers. To trade first-round pick for Laine. Okay, but they just signed Laine. I don't know. Maybe you don't know that. Laine got signed a couple days ago. I don't think they signed him to trade him. So no, I don't think that's possible because I don't think you're gonna be able to get Laine on a trade. That ship I think has passed. Yeah, Sherrod he's getting more comfortable with Petrie. They're looking pretty good. And it's a good pairing. Petrie more on the offense. He can handle the offensive side of that, and Sherrod stays back. So it's a good pairing. And they are looking more comfortable out there. Tick! Hey, bro. Thanks for coming in. Although you're near the end of it, I'm cutting a little early tonight. I'm super tired and having trouble already concentrating. Yeah, no drinking today. Do I think Carey Price will be an all-star this year? I like to think so. I'd like to think he makes a run at the Vezina, and he has a great year. He was looking good. I mean, that was a bad pass. I don't know if you guys were watching the game. He almost blew the game. He almost blew it, and he doesn't mishandle the puck very often, but he just passed it right to that guy. He totally misread him or didn't see him or something. Jay Stokes, hello. Don't have to, please don't call me sir. Unless it's just a saying, but please don't call me sir. I know it's gray here, but Price is always an all-star, even if he's having a bad year. They still call him to the all-star game. Even in his off years, I don't remember that. But yeah, he should be a perennial all-star. I should watch Boku no Pico. I'm not sure what that is there, buddy. Is that anime? Sounds like anime. Mark Bergman, he does seem cool, buddy. Joe, he seems cool. He was the big prankster when he was playing hockey. He'd pull pranks all the time. He kept the team loose, and he was the jokester kind of guy. Apparently, he's a really nice guy. Who's going to be the seventh? Well, it's going to be between the seventh defenseman if Fleury makes it, which I don't think so, because it's going to be Folan or Riley, but they both can't be waived because they'll be picked up. Either one of them will be picked up. So you're probably going to see Fleury go down and Folan and Riley be the 6th and 7th defenseman just to start the season. Hey, Paul, your mod status paid off right away. Look at his name, that guy you just tossed. Jeez. I think Danault is a first-line guy. Maybe not every team, but definitely many teams. I would think he's the number one center. No, I don't. I think, no. He's not a number one center. He can be a number two center, but I think it's a stretch to have him as the number one. We had no choice. But now that we have Domi emerge, I think Danault takes the second line. And apparently it's officially it, because they were saying on the broadcast, talking about Domi's line and Suzuki, that it's the first line, and how Suzuki was jumping from junior to first line. So they're saying that's the first line. And it's not to say Danault wouldn't be, like you said, on some teams he definitely could be is a first line center, but not on most teams. Anthony, if you hadn't heard, Kyle Connor was signed this evening to a 7-year, $50 million contract. Comes out to 7.1 this season. So he's signed for 7 years. Will Paling make it on the... He might, but because of the contract situation, might not. Hey, Gisela, I know you're probably already gone, but if you watch this again by any chance, have a good night. Thanks for coming in. Okay, wait. Randy said, looking for Byron to pair up in OT? I'm not sure what you mean by pair up. OT was fun. The 3-on-3 can be a lot of fun. 3-on-3, very interesting 3-on-3. I thought I wouldn't like that, but it makes for some really fun offense. I thought the center positions were going to be Danault, KK, Paling, and Evans, and Domi was going to go on the wing. Well, you know, things change almost from day to day, but I still think Domi might go on the wing, but I think that's less and less likely this season, and maybe not at all. It looks like it's going to be Danault, Domi, Danault, KK, Paling, and Thompson. I think Thompson and Paling splitting the time on the fourth. I think when it comes time to make that decision of the Suzuki play center, does KK get moved up? That's when you might see Domi move over. Danault take a third line center position, and you see, I'm kind of thinking KK and Paling 1 and 2. I'm not KK. KK and Suzuki 1 and 2. And then you might have to move Deneau. You know, if Paling's going to be your third line center, what are you going to do with Deneau? He's not going to be fourth line. So you might end up having to move them. You know what? It's an interesting problem. When was the last time, if ever, I don't even remember in my lifetime at all, if we had this much depth at center. We had some good centers in my day, but center was never the strongest position for the Habs in general. We had some really great ones. I'm not saying no, but I mean all the way through the lineup. Joe, Laine got 2, Connor got 7, because Laine wanted, I guess, a lot more money than they wanted to give him on a long term. Remember, the 7, he's giving up some of his free agency years, so you got to pay for those. When you're doing a bridge deal, you don't have to pay as much because he's not selling his free agency years, right? So, and listen, for Laine, his second season, for the 2 years he's getting 6 the first and 7.5 the second. That means to qualify him for the third year, you got to qualify him at 7.5. So, you know, it's okay. He'll be fine. Suzuki, Byron, and Mete together in OT triple road runners. Yes, Suzuki's skating's getting better and he's getting faster. And Byron and Mete, boy, they got wheels. That's for sure. Byron, Suzuki, Domi, etc. Do I think we have one of the fastest teams in the league? To me, I would think one of the knocks on Nick Suzuki was his skating, that he wasn't fast enough. And I mean, if you want to know how good this kid could be, in that half a season or that half a year, he's changed around his defensive game. He's changed around his skating. He's gotten bigger. He's changed those big knocks that were on him. If you can imagine, there were knocks on Nick Suzuki. He's improved all the way around. This kid, he's going to be an elite player like we haven't seen since the days of Guy Lafleur. You know, that type of elite player. I was thinking about it earlier today, where it was yesterday, about what is ceiling. I mean, I'll ask the question here, I'll give you my opinion, but what do you guys think his ceiling is for points for Nick Suzuki? I asked that, and then I'd have to, maybe I'm at the bottom here. Oh, I'm at the bottom. I scrolled down to the bottom. So let me know. I'm at the bottom, so I'll see it as it comes up. What is your opinion, you guys, on Nick Suzuki's ceiling for points? 100, 80, 120? What do you guys think? If you guys give me a few of your opinions, I'll tell you what I think. Yeah, you know, I'm looking here. I'm at the bottom because it's behind. Well, I made it over an hour. That's pretty good. Nothing on Caulfield. By the way, the only update on Caulfield is I've heard officially his name is not Caulfield. It's Caulfield. The way Shea Weber pronounced it at the draft apparently is the way it's pronounced. Caulfield. I thought he had made a mistake. So it's Cole. It's not Cole anymore. It's Goal Caulfield. No updates on Caulfield at all. And I look, if I see anything, I'll report on it. You know, I'm doing a lot of news and notes, although the preseason's over, so those news and notes videos are mostly gone. They'll be sporadic through the season, but I've made a lot of them lately. But when there's updates, I'm going to include it in something, in a video, so you'll get it. I'm looking for, I'd love to have some Caulfield updates. Any Caulfield news is great for my channel. Oh boy, you guys are... putting in those questions are coming now. Oh my God, I missed a ton of them. Okay, that's where I was now. I finally got there. Okay, we're talking. I'm kind of Drouin out, so let's maybe not do so many Drouin stuff. You know, I said enough about it. I'd like to talk about something other than Drouin. Okay, let's get to something else here. Okay. I'm just trying to find something. Okay, since I was at the Caulfield one, I'm going to go below that. If I've missed any questions, I'm sorry. I'm trying. Yeah, I'm behind. I might pass some. Suzuki. Okay, first one answering my question. Jimmy Crooks says Suzuki in his prime, he'd say 90 plus points. That's the first one. If I missed one behind it, I'm sorry. I was scrolling, trying to find some stuff, and I didn't see any. Because I'd like to talk about that a bit. Let's talk about Nick Suzuki. There we go. Okay. For this year, I think Suzuki hits 20 to 30 points if he plays the full year. Overall, though, I think he's a 50 to 60 point guy. Joe, really? Wow. Joe, I'm a little surprised you would be that low on him. Really? Yeah, 20 to 30 points in his first year. I mean, it's a possibility. I won't say no, but I see 45, 50 in his first year. 45 very on the low side. Especially if he's playing top line. Don't forget, look, KK put up 34 points last season, playing sheltered minutes on the third line. If you're putting Nick Suzuki on your first line, he's a more offensive talent than KK. I think he's going to get more than KK got. So that's why I say 45 to 55 easy, somewhere in there. First season. I want to see some more of your guys' predictions for his ceiling before I give you mine. Goalfelt. Alexander, I like that one. Goalfelt. Yeah, that's a good one. Drew and Domi Suzuki on the same line all year round. They all get 70 points each, I hope. That would be nice. Start. Joe says he doesn't think he's an 80-90 pointer. Great player for us in the future, definitely, but I don't think he's going to be an absolute superstar. Okay, well, I got to disagree, but I mean, yeah, you're definitely entitled to your opinion. Yeah, Kevin, you're right. Drouin needs to be better. We're off Drouin right now. We talked about him so much today. I'd rather not talk about him anymore. Paul is saying Suzuki will get between 45 and 65 points depending on his line. In the future, he can go anywhere between 80 and 100. Anthony is asking me what my opinion on Grigory Denisenko. I can have zero opinion because that is the very first time I've heard his name. So I don't know. You got to tell me who he is. I don't have an idea. Jimmy Crooks is asking, with everyone who's sent to Laval, who do I think will be the first to get called up? Well, we're not done yet with, I think a couple guys might still go down. If Paling is sent down and Fleury are sent down, I would definitely think they're the first two call-ups, offense, defense. I honestly think if there's a rash of injuries on defense, you're going to see Alzner. I think, you kick me if you want, I think Alzner had... Alzner's looking better. Alzner's looking like he could play... He could be your 6th or 7th defenseman and not hurt you. And maybe a little bit better than that. I liked his last game. I liked it. He played a good, simple, quick... So the weight loss helped him out. He looked a little faster and a little better. So yeah, I think Paling, Jake Evans is going to be an early call-up. I mean, depending on what they're looking for, depending, who goes down for the reason, whoever they need to replace, that's the reason for the call-up. So yeah, those 4 guys are probably the most likely. I could see maybe a guy like Leskinen down the road getting a call-up, but not early. Yeah. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna have to go farther down here. Grigory Denisenko is a Florida Panthers prospect who plays forward, specifically right wing. Yeah, I've never, honestly, never heard of him. Joe, yeah, Osner. No, listen, we're not the only ones. No, a lot of people saw on Twitter. A lot of people were saying how he looked a lot better, and they were a little disappointed that he got sent down. I thought they might keep him up. I thought they might, or at least, well, at that contract you're not trading him, but if they retain a lot of the salary, maybe. And you never know, maybe there'd be now a trade. If any teams watched him, you keep half of his salary, then that's the max you're allowed, is to keep 50%. Tick, Toronto's $14 million over the cap. Yeah, they have to be down to the cap by the second. So they got a little work to do. Saying, Lehkonen and Armia, their point production is going to largely be based on where they play. If Lehkonen really does play second line wing, Lehkonen will get more than 30. Got to look at somewhere around 40. Armia, I have a feeling Armia will be playing fourth line wing. And at the fourth line wing, I don't think you're going to see much more than what he got last season. What do you have, 23, 13 and 10, 23 points? Somewhere around 25 points. If he manages to move up a little bit, I think he can have a breakout, but it doesn't look like that's happening. I mean, he didn't have a great camp, and he's on the fourth line, playing fourth line minutes right now. So that's what I think. Things can change, pretty quickly in professional sports like that, One guy comes up, a rookie comes up, has a great season, you got to put him in, It changes the somebody who thought he had a sure thing. Okay, so since nobody's giving any more Nick Suzuki, I think this on Nick Suzuki's ceiling. Nick Suzuki has a ceiling, to me, and you might laugh, of 35 goals, 65 to 80 assists. So I think Nick Suzuki's ceiling, if he really hits his ceiling when he's in his prime, I think 120 points. That's, I think, his ceiling is. Is he going to hit it next year? No, I don't think he's going to get it right away or the next couple of seasons, but I think that is his ceiling. I think he's definitely an 80-pointer. I'd be surprised if Nick Suzuki doesn't at least once, if not multiple times, hit and pass 80 points. And yeah, I think his ceiling's 120. But it doesn't mean he's going to hit that in his career, but I think the potential is there. He's going to be the best offensive player we have had since, I don't know who our last 100-pointer was. I think Mats Naslund, I think. He's going to be the next best point producer. Oh, God, my nose all night. I'm sorry, guys. It's just a little itchy. If I think that we have too many players and depth this year, what are we going to do next year when Caulfield and Romanov come in? Listen, first of all, it's a good problem to have. That's number one. And that's why there's, that's why the off season, you pick up depth guys. That's why guys move around. You bring them into camp, you see who makes it, and then some of the guys got to be moved. So people will get moved. So what else are you going to do? But believe me, it's a hell of a problem to have, considering the team hasn't had this problem to this extent in a long time. Every year, who's going to stay, who's going to go, but the quality of those people are not nearly what we've got right now. So, yeah, it's a good problem to have. And the answer to that is I don't know. No, Joe, of course Suzuki's not going to reach his ceiling just yet. Give a guy 4 or 5 years in the league. 3 anyway. I think after 3 years, Suzuki will start to approach his ceiling. And he might surprise us this year as a rookie. There's been rookies. I mean, look, if you want to talk about a great rookie, Teemu Solani, 76 goals, 130-something points, rookie season. So it's happened. You never know. Lightning in a bottle. That's all he needs to catch. I'm trying to find it. It's moving on me. Kevin is saying, imagine all those prospects in their prime with Caulfield Stanley Cup possibility. Yes. I made a predictions. Well, what was this video? I think it was 7 things in 7 years. And I tried to get stuff that all could happen. You know, something this year, something next year, and all that. So for the Stanley Cup prediction, my prediction was year 4. So 3 more years after this one. I think, and legitimately, I think 3 to 5 years Habs have a legitimate shot to win the Cup. Legitimate shot. Yeah, sorry. I'm catching myself looking at myself. Okay, we're getting near the end of the stream. I'm going to scroll. I'm down at the bottom. So listen, I'm down at the bottom. I'm super tired. I hope you guys don't mind. We're at 117. I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to call it a night. I'm really tired. So listen, I want to thank everybody for coming in. Anybody in the pool tomorrow, 12 noon, I'm going to live stream it. I'll be on at 11:45 for a live stream of the draft. The draft should be about an hour and a half. It's usually about an hour and a half. So yeah, hopefully you guys will come check that out. Thanks everybody for coming in. Thank you guys so much. You don't know how much. I just wish I had a little more energy for you guys tonight. I'm sorry. It was a bit of a late start, and sorry for making excuses here. I'm sorry for apologizing. I'm sorry. I'm saying sorry so many times. Yeah. So listen. Thanks everybody for coming in. See you guys tomorrow on the draft live stream. Have a good night, and go Habs, go. Bye, y'all.